So he is a lot scarier than in the past. So we gotta be extra careful. Oh, jeez. Okay. Hey guys, it's Adam, aka Swimming Bird, and welcome to the new snapshot for Minecraft 1.9. This is 15W38A and B, and although we're not even into October yet, there's already some major monster updates to make the game a bit tougher, and on top of that, there's now a reason to fear the sound of a neigh in the night. But I'll get into that in just a second. First off, I want to talk about skeletons. If I had to pick a theme for this week's update, it would be the skeleton update. And I'm going to spawn a few guys to show you that they have changed quite a bit. They're a lot tougher now. All of the mobs in general have improved AI, but skeletons specifically, I'm going to grab my shield. I'll let these guys fight it out to show you. They will now strafe, walk, and shoot at the same time, so they can kind of maneuver. You can see there's like a FPS or something here as they go around and try to hit each other. But they will avoid you, and on top of that, if you're too close to them, they will try to back away. As you can see, he wants to stay at a good range, so I can't hit him. But if we're too far away, he will actually move towards me so that he can hit me with his arrows. So that's a nice little way to keep them in that nice mid area where they can do damage and not take the damage as easily. So they're definitely a lot smarter now. And on top of that, if they are really far away from you, they will sprint towards you to try to get a good shot. So if I can get far enough away from him, I might get him to... Whoa, that one's coming after me. So yeah, now I have to worry because there's skeletons spawning all over the place in the rain. Let's try to take these guys down. So skeletons have been updated, but all mobs are smarter and they know how to handle riding on top of other mobs a lot better than they used to. So spider jockeys are a good example of this. If I spawn one in, you'll see the skeleton now mostly has control over the spider. It's not just the spider doing the attacking, so he'll try to strafe around. This one does not have a bow, so he's just gonna freak out, but I will spawn one with a bow to show you guys. He's gonna try to to attack me and move around into the right position. He's a lot faster now that he has that spider, so he is a lot scarier than in the past. So we gotta be extra careful. Oh, jeez. Okay. Spider jockeys are now probably my new favorite thing to fight because of how insane they are. The skeleton's AI combined with the spider's speed and mobility makes them pretty zany to deal with. So yeah, skeletons are a lot tougher now. And they also have new idle sounds. If you listen close when they're hanging around, they have kind of that sound that they make when they get hit. They have that little like bone sound that they make when they get hit. They'll do that occasionally while they're idle as well to give them a little more ambiance, or whatever you want to call it. Now, there's also something related to skeletons called a skeleton trap, and that is very important. So we're going to show you guys what that means here in a second. So when it's storming, like so, lightning can occasionally strike right on cue there. Thank you, game world. So when lightning strikes now, there is a chance of spawning a skeletal horse, and I've got one over here hanging out. Skeletal horses are now in the game without you having to summon them in. You can get them naturally, so that's awesome. And the lightning will strike occasionally, plopping down a skeletal horse where it lands. Now this is about an 8% chance on easy difficulty, a 20% chance or so on normal, and a 33%, 1 in 3 chance of lightning striking on hard difficulty, leaving one of those skeletal horses. Now, a horse trap, or a skeleton horse trap, is something that is to be feared, because if you get a little too close to one of these horses, when you see them, they will spawn in some friends. And I've got some over here that I'm going to spawn in for you guys. Now, this can be a normal horse. It doesn't have to be a skeleton horse. If you find a horse that is spawned from lightning strikes, it will always be a skeleton trap. But if you find a normal horse, it might be a skeleton trap as well. And what that means is, if you get within a certain block radius, a 10 block radius of a skeleton trap horse, then it will turn into 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. They have enchanted bows and helmets, riding skeletal horses, and they are very tough to deal with. Don't let the looks deceive you. This one's just running face first into a tree right now, but these guys are super tough. They've got the mobility of a horse, but the power of a skeleton with some enchanted armor on. Now, there's a few little specific things to these guys, other than them being a really cool mini-boss. So, lightning will strike the horse whenever it is one of those special horses that have that skeleton trap variant on them. And I'm gonna spawn in another horse. You can see it's not just a white horse, even though that's kind of a cool. The pale horse is what Death rode in the 4 Horsemen. So yeah, it could be any type of horse. So randomly, you might be walking, find a horse, and if you're lucky or unlucky, it'll have that skeleton trap value on it, and it will spawn in these guys. Now, the horse will become skeletal if it isn't already, and it will also become tame. So if I was to kill one of these skeletons here, I could jump right onto this horse and ride it around if I had a saddle. That one is drowning though, which is weird because it doesn't have lungs. But the horses are pre-tamed, so they're ready to be tamed. All you have to do is put a saddle on them like this one over here, and you can ride them around, and you have your own skeletal horse now in vanilla. And the cool thing about these skeleton horses is that, just like skeletons, they do not take damage from splash potions or any, potions of harming do not hurt them. And just to prove, there's a chicken over there. He's going to take damage from this. Oops, sorry, little guy. But the horse is not. But if you did hit him with a potion of healing, you got to be careful because you can hurt them. So they do have that undead quality to them. And of course, potions of healing, one of the better ways of taking down these horsemen here, because you can hit both the horse and the rider for damage. But you're probably going to want to zero in on the rider if you want to keep this skeleton horse for yourself and look cool with a nice unique little mount there. So yeah, the horses, if they're a baby horse and they're a horse trap like so, when we spawn them in, they will fully grow when they turn into the little 4 horsemen there. So it'll pop from a baby into an adult horse when that lightning strikes. And on peaceful, the skeleton won't spawn, but the horse will still be here. So you can get these horses still, even on peaceful. The skeleton has damage immunity for a few seconds, 3 seconds after they spawn on the horsemen. They won't despawn though, they have persistence, but they can die in the daylight once their helmet breaks. These are pretty good enchanted helmets though. They might have protection or unbreaking on them to help them take a little bit more damage. There's a lot of different enchantments that it could be. The skeleton will always wear an iron helmet unless it spawns in, randomly having other style of armor. I've seen one with a full gold suit of armor on, so they can look differently, but they will usually just have that iron enchanted helmet with that little purple glow. And this also, the enchantments depend on the difficulty, so if it's easier, they won't have as many cool enchantments as the hard difficulty skeletons. Now, the skeleton trap tag will clear away once this happens on the horse, so you don't have to worry about them summoning in any more riders. Despite the grim look of these guys, they are now friendly once their skeletons are gone. But if you're on survival, and let me spawn in another one here. If you're in survival and they're riding the horses, then they are going to come after you with all they've got and use those horses to their advantage. So look out, because here they come. They're going to start trying to gallop after me. Oh, okay, that one fell off. They're fighting each other. You guys are not. There you go. That one in the tree is going to move around and try to get away. They are using the horses like the spider jockey. They're using the horses to their advantage so that they can fight. This is crazy. Undead battlefield here. I got to look out. I'm hitting my own horse. But yeah, this is very cool that we have this new style of pretty much mini-boss that can randomly spawn when you have lightning storms or when you run into a horse. So be very careful about running into horses out there in the world. And you can see this is how you could summon in one on your own. If you want to get a little skeleton horse, I died, I think, so now I can't click these command blocks. That's a bug right now. If I log out and log back in, you guys can see I can click them again. But yeah, the little preset, if you want to summon in your own little skeletal. Oh, we're in survival. That's what's going on. I thought it was because of that bug, but I think they fixed that, so we're good. There we go. Now, if you want to spawn in your own one, put this skeleton trap little tag on there, and if you want one that has different variants, this is how you can change your horse types. Variant is the different numbers there, so you can kind of spawn them in differently. But this is also important. Skeleton trap time is a new tag as well. And for 15 minutes, that's just about 15 minutes here on that timer. 15 minutes, these guys will hang around, but at any longer, you see it just ticked over to 15 minutes there for the timer, and it's gone. So they will despawn after 15 minutes of popping in. So if you don't run into them, they're not going to clutter up your world and make all of the horses hanging around into these skeleton trap horsemen. So don't worry about that. They will disappear after a little bit. So make sure you take them down when you see them, because they might not be around for that much longer for you to claim your bony mount. All right, so that's enough about the skeleton traps for now. Pretty cool, and I want to see them add some more stuff with zombies and stuff maybe. They've done a lot with skeletons recently, the bow animation, the new horsemen idea. So I'd like to see more zombie stuff as well. Maybe zombies rising out of the ground. I know Dinnerbone mentioned he wanted to do that. So something that I have to do here that's a little sad to show you guys. So pets, in the past, if you had named your pet, when it died, it would tell you that it died in the chat here. And this is President Fluffadoodles. And no, oh, nope, he's not going to attack me. I gave him the sword. If I was to kill him, I'm sorry, President, but I got to assassinate you. And he is gone, you can see. President Fluffadoodles was slain by me. But now, if you have a tamed wolf or ocelot, a cat, and they die, it doesn't need to have a name. It will now say that they were slain. I feel bad for killing these guys. Sorry. Please forgive me, wolf and cat from beyond the grave. But yeah, it tells you when they die. So if you were to take a pet with you and it fell off a cliff or something, it would tell you in the chat so that you know that you lost your pet. They don't just mysteriously disappear and you stay up late at night worrying about them, listening to the horses whinny. So that's a nice little feature. Now villagers, there's quite a few updates to the little villagers. Now they will pick up and plant beetroot seeds now. So beetroots in the past, they wouldn't do much with them since they were added in 1.9, and these are a carryover from Pocket Edition as well. So now they will plant beetroots just like they do with wheat and carrots and pumpkins, or not pumpkins, potatoes, all of those crops that they use. And they'll also now use beetroot for collecting and giving to each other, just like carrots and potatoes. And while they harvest these, if they give them to each other, the farmers will give them to the other villagers and share, and that increases their willingness to breed faster. So if you want to build a village, make sure you got plenty of crops for them to share and plenty of farmers with their brown coats to harvest them. We're getting a lot of librarians here. There we go. This guy is going to harvest them. So yeah, that's a nice little improvement. And then speaking of crops, the seeds on average will drop quite a bit more from all crops. Potatoes and carrots will now yield more, and beetroot seeds especially will drop more often when you harvest them. So that's nice. If you want to farm, now it's a lot easier to make sure you're always getting a return on your investment for your seeds. And it looks like my little steed died. There's a sad saddle just floating there. So yeah, you can get your seeds back, and you can have more efficient farming now in this snapshot. And last but not least, there's two other little things. Fire, when it's storming out especially, you'll notice this, but in the rain, fire will not go out instantly like it previously did. So let's grab a flint and steel, and I'll light some forest fires here. Don't do this in real life. But yeah, the fire will not go out instantly like it did before. It now determines every tick there's about a 0 to 45% chance of it going out. So it will still put the fire out, but you're going to have to be a lot more careful now. You probably noticed this tree over here, that was lit on fire by a lightning strike, and it burned down even in the rain. There we go, those went out. But just be careful with your fire, because it can now spread like in the old days, like the old classic Minecraft days where you'd build a chimney and burn your house down. Be extra careful with your fire, because it won't extinguish as easily in the rain. And look out, that'll be a good sign to tell you there might be a skeleton trap horse around, because if lightning strikes and you see fire, you know it was pretty recent, and that the skeleton horses are probably there lurking somewhere, especially on hard. Now, one last thing, if you sleep in beds, it now keeps that as a statistic. I'm gonna follow this zombie. If you sleep in a bed, there's now time slept in bed can be tracked, so you can use that to set up different things with commands and stuff. Like minigames could even factor that in by sleeping in a bed now. It can keep track of how often you sleep, so that's a nice little addition. That is pretty much it, though, this week. Thank you guys for watching, and lots of skeleton updates. This is a pretty cool update, I think, this week, by making these guys a lot tougher and adding in those creepy horsemen, because I like seeing this type of stuff. It's making the game have all these nice little interesting features to it and making it a little bit tougher. I'd like to see other monsters like the creeper and the zombie get some more behavior and interesting factors to them as well. We'll see, though. This is the combat update, so it's not just about new weapons and things. It's about making sure combat is more fun and challenging, and by making skeletons a lot tougher, they've added another step towards making the game tougher itself. Thank you again for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time for some more Minecraft Snapshot updates.